Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. HVK all day. Let's get it, bro. Woo! All right, man. So, in today's video, I want to talk about why you need to work on yourself first before you start working on other things. So, this is very important, man. Like, SR retaining, it kind of automatically forces you to go within. What does it mean to go within? It means to do the inner work. It means to do the shadow work in like fixing yourself like internally, right? Prior to retention and your self-improvement journey, you were probably reckless. You were probably like a bum. You know, you didn't really take care of yourself. You didn't really take care of your mentality and like your energy. You're probably hanging out with just anybody or just eating anything like that, man. Anything that's just kind of like you need to fix, right? You need to fix your life in order to have a better life in the future. Everything starts internally before it manifests externally, okay? So the thing about retention, it's like you have to do the inner work, man. It like forces you to do the inner work because it's something that's delayed gratification, right? When you cut off the hub, when you're not watching the hub or just releasing and being in that cycle, um, you're kind of forced to like sit with yourself now, right? And you're not focused on like the instant gratifications of things anymore. That's why, like, for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of people experience this as well, is like you will stop caring about a lot of things that you might have done. Like for me, like I stopped wanting to drink alcohol. I stopped wanting to be on like social media or just hanging out with certain people because your mentality changes on retention. Your energy changes on retention. They like you start leveling up spiritually, energetically, mentally. You just start your thought patterns are different. Okay. So with that, um that's like the inner work, right? It's just like working on yourself internally first because there's a quote that I came up with one time. It's like the biggest, how'd it go? It was the worst thing that you could do is work for a company but not work for yourself, or not work on yourself, is what I meant to say. So what that means is like, you know, a lot of people, they'll work like these jobs. They'll do everything except work on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll work like a job that can replace them like that, or they'll just kind of be like people pleasers, right? They'll try to please other people, but they'll never take time for themselves. They'll never take time to do like the inner work in order to like better their life, right? So that's very important. Like when it comes to like self-improvement, is to work on yourself internally first, because how are you gonna win if you ain't right within, man? Right? You can't expect to win if your mind is all cluttered, if you need things to be fixed like internally. Not everything we could see like with our physical eye. Like you could look at a person and says, "Oh, like he looks fine," or he looks whatever, you know, but like internally nobody knows you like you know yourself, right? So everybody has little things that they could work on, right, and improve about themselves. And that's what retention does, man. It kind of makes you like go within and just like kind of like analyze yourself, and now you're just kind of like studying yourself, and you're especially like I said, like if you're sober on retention, you're not having like external things kind of distracting you or just kind of like making you escape like reality in a sense. It makes you sit with yourself, right? It makes you like analyze like your thoughts and like your emotions. So now you kind of go internally and be like, all right, well, I need to fix this, or I need to change this, right? Like just like little micro changes, right? It could be anything from like the certain foods that you eat, like a diet, or you need to be more disciplined in like waking up earlier, or hit the gym more, or cut off like certain things, right? It's all like little micro changes and things in your personal life that are going to help, like help you out like in the future, right, to becoming like a better version of yourself. All right, and that's very important, is like doing like inner work, right? Because people think that if they can't physically see something, then nothing is happening. But somebody in the comments asked me that the other day, is like, oh, what's like my goal with SR and things like that. It's not necessarily a goal, it's more of a tool. Okay, it's more of a tool that has drastically helped me make like little micro changes, like improving my life. Because ever since I discovered retention, man, it's like I'm on like this journey now of like improving a lot of things that need to be improved, right? Like I stopped like drinking alcohol, man. Like I haven't had a drop of alcohol this whole year. Prior to that, I was drinking like almost like multiple times a week for like years, man. So that's crazy. That right there is crazy, bro. That's like one of the things that I'm working on, and it's going well. And like just things like that, man. Just like little things like in your past that are kind of like roadblocks, or kind of like holding things that are holding you back from like evolving like into the future, right? So that's like very important when it comes to retention, guys, is that like it makes you do like the inner work, right? And then people will like notice the changes, man. Like I said, everything starts from within. Everything starts off in your thoughts before it manifests into like the physical reality. Okay, so the inner work is like the most important thing. Because like I mentioned earlier, is like the worst thing that you could do is work for a job and not work on yourself, man. Like you could be working for another person, but you're not even taking care of your diet, your health. You're just eating like crap food, or you just anything that is just like kind of destroying you, right? This world just throws out all these distractions, all these everything to just keep you weak, but you have to fight back against it, man. And it comes from like what you consume, not just what you eat, but like what you watch, what you listen to, where you're putting your time and attention to. Sheesh, that was a bar right there, man. I love when I be rhyming like without trying, like the words just flow out like that, man, and it just happens to rhyme. But yeah, that's true, bro. Like you have to work on yourself first before you work on anything else. And I'm not saying that you need to be like a monk and just be like meditating all day and not do any physical activity and like no, none of that, man. But like it's very important to take time for yourself, man. Go like heal, right? This journey is very healing. It's very healing. So if you need to take time away from a lot of things in order to like grow, it's like the analogy of like the cocoon, man. It's like you're like a worm, right? You're just like a lazy little worm. You need to improve your life, and then you go on monk mode and you go into that cocoon for a while, and you just like work on yourself in silence internally, right? Nobody really knows what you're doing. And then you come out as like a butterfly, man. You come out completely transformed into like another person. And that's what it is, man. That's what retention does to you. It just makes you work on yourself internally, and then in the future people won't even recognize you, man. And a lot of people you would probably have to cut off in order to do the inner work in the first place. But in the end, if somebody sees you, whether that's family members or you run into like old friends, man, they won't even recognize you, because at the same time you don't even recognize yourself, man, because you're completely transformed now from doing the inner work and being on retention and hold on to those nutrients and that harnessing that energy, that life force energy, instead of just releasing it with no purpose, being drained and not having motivation or that push to help you out in life, right? So that's very important, man. Retention makes you do the inner work and it transforms your life externally, right? But first you have to go internally. All right, so I think with that I'm gonna wrap it up. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys have a good day. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.